everybody, hope you're all well. Seems like only a minute ago that I was on here going through the preview for the last release, but time flies and our next Hobby Maker shows are on the 8th of June. So I just wanted to come on and walk you through the new collection. And I want to start with this item, which is something I'm so excited about. I've been working on it for a long time, and it's hopefully, if you like it, going to be part of a range of seasonal pouches. So I'm starting with this one. I'm starting on summer because we're a bit too late for spring. So as summer is arriving, I've got the pouch here for you to, it contains all the items to make some lovely summer makes. And yeah, it all comes in this lovely pouch, which is, it's got our logo on there and then the Create a Life You Love design. And then inside you get a number of products that can be used to create some really lovely summer themed projects. Now I say summer themed, but obviously as with all our products, you can use them with any of the other products. They work seamlessly together, and although they're sort of designed with a summer theme, they don't have to be exclusively summer. You could use them any time of year. So we'll start off with the paper collection. So there's a Petite paper and a 6x6 paper, both similar. There's a crossover of some designs. So the Petite papers, as with all our Petite papers, are perfect size for ATCs, or for those kind of mini cards and tags and different things like that you might want to create. They're on 190 GSM paper, and there's 45 pages, 15 designs, 3 of each. And all of these are using a palette of kind of green, yellow, pinks. And they're in our normal kind of dreamy style, sort of watercolory kind of feel. So I'll just show you some of these. So with the Petite papers, because we've got 15 designs, I've popped some of them onto a craft backdrop, and most of them are on white, but there are the odd one that's on a craft backdrop. So if you prefer that option, it's there for you. So really smooth, dreamy kind of design. And there's one of the craft ones. There, so are we back? We're not quite back to the beginning yet. So these have a real summery feel. That's back to the beginning. So there's 3 of each of those 15 different designs. And then the 6x6 summer pad, as I say, there's a crossover. So there are some of the designs obviously in a bigger design. There's 10 designs, 3 of each in this, and again on 190 GSM. And they're really versatile. They provide an instant background, or you can die cut into them. You can do some different effects over it. You can stamp onto them. But the idea being that they create a perfect summery backdrop to work with the other bits in this collection, and all the rest of your stash, of course, as well, but in particular with the bits in here. So that's the summer paper pad 6x6. So there's those two paper pads in there. There's also this stamp set, which is called Here For You, and it's got these 3 cute little bears in it. It's got some stars, moons, some little accents, butterflies and things like that. And then it's got these lovely foliage, kind of almost like vines, that I've designed to kind of dangle down from the top of your projects, although obviously you can be as creative as you want with them. And because they're sort of photopolymer, they're slightly flexible. You could actually bend them and do all sorts of different things with them. Obviously just be a bit careful that you don't bend it too much, but you can put a slight sort of shaping into them. And then the hanging down heart as well, and some other leaves and stuff. So great kind of versatile set for building up a scene. Really fun to play with, and the sentiments are lovely too. We've got Here For You, The Sky Is Not the Limit, Hey, Love You to the Stars and Beyond, and Sending Love. So that's a really cute little set. It gives you lots of different options of how to use it, and obviously these foliage parts would be great with any of your other characters as well, and it goes nicely with those paper pads. We've then got a stencil. It's called Flower Trail, and excuse the reflection there of the lights, but it allows you to just pop that trail of flowers across your projects. Obviously it can be used with the papers, or just to ink through to create a different kind of background if you don't want to use the papers on a make. So again, really versatile. You can obviously use our stencils where you can ink through them, you can put texture paste through them, you can do all sorts of different things with them. So that's a lovely one as well. And then probably my favourite from the pouch is the rounded tag die set. And obviously this isn't to scale, I can show you from the back. So it's roughly the biggest die is roughly 15 centimetres by 8 centimetres, just slightly smaller than that, I think, in total. And the biggest one has the stitching with the little kisses on it, and then the smaller tag has the stitching but with little hearts on it. And the idea behind this was that you could obviously die cut the rounded tag shape, and because it doesn't come, the die doesn't come with a part that cuts the hole in. I've given you the hole separately in either a circle shape or a heart shape, and that means that you can either use it with a hole or without a hole, depending on, you might not want it to be a tag, you might want it to be something else, in which case you don't want to put the hole in them. So that's kind of, I've tried to make it as versatile as possible. There's an example there where I've used the biggest one and I've just used the heart to make the hole in the top. So, and obviously if you want the hole closer to the top, you can. By having it separate, it gives you all sorts of options. You might want to put 3 of the hearts around it to make them like an arc shape or something like that. So lots of different options there. And then you've got 5 different extra dies in here with the cloud and then some little accent ones. And the reason I've done this is because, for any of you who might remember, we did a stamp set called Bits and Bobs, and it's really popular. It's a really great stamp set that allows you to add lots of detail and accents to your projects. So it enables you to build up backgrounds, just add a little extra something to your make. And I wanted to kind of create something similar but with dies. So I'll just show you in basic terms. These 4 just enable you to cut. Let's move that away. See if I can get a piece of, let's get a piece of card. Hang on one second. Let's put a piece of card underneath. There you go. That should make you see it better. So you can just pop them on your makes wherever you like, just to add that little bit of extra detail. So they're great for mixed media, great for art journaling and different things, you know, to add little elements. You can sort of just take an offcut of card, die cut into it and then layer it up onto things. There's all sorts of ways you can use them. So that's just a fun way to add a bit of extra interest. And the cloud is just great. So I can show you one here where I've layered the small tag on top of the big tag. I've cut the cloud out of the top one and just layered it back on top. So just all sorts of fun ways. And I've got some great samples to show you over the coming days where I've used this set in a completely different way. So not just as a tag, but in different ways. So that's to come. I'll show you that over the next few days. So that's the summer pouch, and I really hope you like it because I've already got the autumn and winter stamp sets ready for the next 2. So hopefully it will be popular. So that's the summer pouch. That's the first thing that will be on Hobby Maker on the 8th of June. Then we have a stamp set, A5 stamp set called Adventure Awaits. And this is so sweet. It's so dreamy. And I love this leaf element. Again, like vines, it kind of ties up quite nicely with the vines from the summer pouch stamp set. And then we've got a separate one here that you can sort of do different things with. We've got little extra elements as well to add extra to your project. And then you've got these 3 ducks, I guess they could be, or geese, and 2 of them have got their baby ducks or geese, ducklings, goslings on their backs, and they're flying. And then this one here she's got flowers in her hair and she's just watching her egg, and the little feet are coming out of the egg. Let's see if I can just, so she's expecting a new little baby. So the sentiments are kind of tied into this whole kind of theme, and it says, "Blessed are the curious, for they shall have adventures. Adventure awaits. Let the adventures begin. Collect beautiful moments. Dream big, little one. Better together. Fly high. Life is all about the journey. Love you. You are my everything." So there's kind of a theme, you know, like a mum, baby, dad and baby kind of theme almost, or a new arrival, or going on an adventure together or something like that. But it could be used for so many different occasions, and this stamp here is just beautiful and could be used with anything. You could even make that Christmassy if you wanted to, with the right colours and the right extra characters. You know, if you put Christmassy characters on top, that would create a lovely background for a festive card as well. So there's lots of different ways you could use this stamp set. Again, I'll show you some examples over the coming days. We've then got an A6 stamp set called Sentiment Tapes. And as it says, it's literally a stamp set that allows you to stamp. So if you, I love the effect of white embossing on black card, but sometimes I just don't feel like I've got the time or the inclination to get out all the stuff to start embossing. So the idea behind this is that you can create, just by stamping in black, you can create an easy, what looks like a sentiment tape. So it's got wishing you the best day ever, thinking of you, love you, thanks for being you, hey, happy birthday, thanks, hugs and kisses, best wishes, you mean the world to me, just a note, congratulations, miss you, Merry Christmas, happy anniversary, lots of love, so proud of you and good luck. So this is a real staple that will cater for lots of different occasions. And you can see there on the back how it creates different, so that's what it creates if you stamp it in black. Obviously you can stamp it in whatever colour you like, but that was how it was designed. So that's sentiment tape, so that works lovely with all your stamp sets. Then we have something that is also brand new, which is A5 paper pads. And the first one we've got is Lavender Lane, and I wanted to bring a couple of, we have got other A5 paper pads coming as well, but for this collection, because of the kind of dreamy feel of that Adventure Awaits stamp set, I wanted to bring some soft kind of dreamy watercolory kind of feel paper pads in slightly different colorways to normal. So we've got the Lavender Lane. Now the A5 paper pads are 24 sheets with 8 designs, 3 of each, on the same 190 GSM paper. So there's just 2 less. So in the 6x6 you've got 10 designs, 3 of each, and this one you've got 8 designs, 3 of each. And I've done some that go in a horizontal fashion and some that are vertical, landscape and portrait, or horizontal vertical, whichever you want to call it. So they're really beautiful colours. So, and they create an instant backdrop. So you could just literally stamp your character and use this as an instant backdrop. But the good thing about having it in A5 is that if you prefer to do A5 cards, it gives you that option. And like with all our papers, we've kind of layered different bits on it. Some have got text, some have got petals and leaves, some bit more plain, and some that are literally like an instant mixed media type looking background. So that's the Lavender Lane. And then on the same theme, we've got Latte Love. Again, 24 sheets, 8 designs, 3 of each. And again, there's some portrait and some landscape. So you can see here that the theme, the stamp from the Adventure Awaits has been kind of used in the design here. So they work seamlessly with stamps. And then this kind of almost looks embossed, these ones. And then, as I say, some that are instant backgrounds, they look like they've been created using mixed media techniques. We've got some that go landscape, some that are portrait. They're just beautiful. And like I say, just having A5 just gives you that extra options of things that you can do. So this Latte Love one, I'm not sure if the colours are picking up very well, but it's kind of all natural beigey kind of creams and beige, well, whites and light beiges and fawns and so on. So not sure if the colours pick up well on that one, but hopefully you'll get an idea as we post some makes over the coming days anyway. So that's Latte Love. We're then re-releasing, this is a stencil that we had previously from our previous manufacturer, and we've had it was so popular that we had to have it produced again by our new manufacturer. So this is called the Scalloped Circle, and it allows you to just create that background. So you could stamp, for example, with the vine stamps, you could actually stamp through the stencil so that it kind of creates almost like a window. So this is really useful, and as I say, it's a re-release, but it's new, coming back new. So Scalloped Circle stencil. We've then got a collection which I've had quite a lot of comments about this one, Silly Sausage. So this is an A6 stamp set. It's got 3 sausage dogs on it, one that's got a bread roll and ketchup and his tongue out, one with a bow tie, then we've got a crown that you can put on separately, and this one here that looks a bit funny, you may have already seen a sample on social media. It's because the balloons can be used for him to float away. So you just draw in the strings yourself and make it look like he's got the balloons attached to him and he's floating away. Obviously, you can use it without the balloons if you want him to just be doing tricks or something, that's fine. And then you've got the little paw print, and the sentiments say, we need to catch up, because obviously you've got your ketchup on the sausage dog there. You're a silly sausage, you're pawsome, love you, you're fabulous, I woof you. And then there's an extra bit that says that's the long and short of it. So you might want to say, you're fabulous, that's the long and short of it, or you're a silly sausage, that's the long and short of it. So really fun stamp set there. You can see there where I've coloured in some bits on the back. So that's silly sausage. And then we've got a stencil that goes really nicely with it. It's just called Tiny Hearts, and it's just simple but so effective. So you could use this just to add a bit of extra detail. If you've inked up a background, you might just want to add a bit of interest. You might just ink through this partially. You might want to put texture paste through the whole stencil to create a whole background or something like that. So there's lots of different ways you can use that one. That's Tiny Hearts. And then we've got 2 paper pads that come in this part of the collection. So we've got Rainbow. Again, our normal 6x6 paper pads come with 3 each of 10 designs on 190 GSM. And this one contains rainbows and text and painty effects, distressed effects and hearts, and just, they work beautifully. These would work well with the scalloped tag die as well. It would also work well if you wanted to stamp onto it, or if you just want to literally take a character and just pop the character onto as an instant background onto there. So lots of different designs there that are really usable in our kind of trademark rainbow feel. So that's the Rainbow 6x6 paper pad. As I say, 30 sheets, 10 designs, 190 GSM. Then we have, on a similar theme, Teal Rainbow, and this is a dreamy kind of watercolory, painty rainbow effect, but on teal background. So some of them have got the dark teal. I'm not sure that the colours are really picking up very well on this, but we've got the dark teal and kind of a light teal. So just giving you the option there of how you want to use them. So lots of rainbow designs on those 2 different backgrounds. Just creates a slightly different look. It almost looks blue on the camera. I'm not sure if it will when I upload it, but it's definitely like a teal colour. So that's that one. So that's Teal Rainbow. And as I say, 30 sheets, 10 designs, 190 GSM. Okay, so that's the main part of the collections that will be on Hobby Maker on the 8th of June. But we are also bringing a couple of new things. So as part of our swatch range, we launched the swatch books a few months ago now, and we had a stencil and a stamp set to go with the swatch books to enable you to swatch your inks and so on. And what we wanted to do was bring back, we've got some different designs, cover designs, because we're bringing something new to the swatch range. So we just wanted to add something a bit different. So the 2 original swatch books will be available on Hobby Maker, but now we have these 2 extra designs. So this is the same design. If you bought the rainbow one before, it was on a linen cover. This one is the same design, but with a kind of laminate, glittery kind of laminate finish on it. So that's coming to Hobby Maker, and also a brand new cover design in a linen texture. This one here, and it's just got like a painted feel to it, and that's the back. And as with our other swatch books, it's exactly the same inside. You've just got your kind of intro page that kind of shows you how we expect it, you know, we designed for it to be used. I mean, obviously you can use it however you want, and then it's got 50 pages of the swatch, all the same like that. So you just write in the product that you're using, that you're swatching, and then you can use our stamps or stencils into the gap to swatch out your colours. You can obviously swatch inks, ink pads, pens, paints, whatever. We've done these single-sided on a thick paper so that you can use some heavier medium. So you can use paint, for example, as long as you're not too heavy-handed with it, you can use it, and it won't, if it does go through, it won't matter so much. But generally, I've not found anything yet that's soaked through the pages, and because they're only one-sided anyway, it just gives you that bit of extra kind of strength. And the reason we're bringing them back is because we've got an extra item to add to the swatch collection, which is the Swatch Die Set. And this came about because when I swatch my inks in the swatch book, it's great to be able to see what they look like. However, when I actually colour my images, I use watercolour card and it might give it a different effect. So the idea behind this was that you could cut out from your cardstock of choice an element that can then be stuck into the swatch book. So it'll enable you to use your, whatever card you use, you can then pop that in the swatch book. So you can literally die cut this out of your chosen watercolour card and you can just stick it within the boxes here. So you can literally, some of them are actually the same design as a stencil, so you could just pop it in and then use the stencil if you want to over the top, just to use on your to stencil through onto your swatch. The other thing that this enables you to do is to swatch onto black cardstock or craft cardstock or any colour cardstock you like. But obviously the difficulty with with swatching onto black is that then it's difficult. You'd either need to write in a white pen or something like that so that you could see what it is you've actually swatched. With this option, you can cut your swatch out. You can use one of these dies to cut out a black cardstock and then just pop it onto stick it into your book, and it shows you, and you can still write on there which products you've used, but it just enables you to do that onto black cardstock as well, just to show you a difference. It is also possible with this one, for example, it almost masks off half. So if you wanted to do half your square, stick some black cardstock in and then perhaps ink over both the black and the white together, and it enables you to see, for example, with Lisa Horton's interference inks, you can see what it looks like on black, what it looks like on white. So there's lots of different ways that you can use this. It also includes this bigger semicircle here, enables you to cut that out as a tab and stick it into your book so that you can actually tab and write on there. So if you want to divide up, this is distress inks, this is something else, this is paints, this is whatever. And also this is a different page tab where you can just fold it over and stick it in. So there's two different page tabs in there as well. So the idea behind this is if you like your swatch book, you just want to add that extra touch, you want to know what it's like on different cardstock, then that's a great addition to the swatch book. So that's the Swatch Die Set. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you can join us join Sharon on the 8th of June on Hobby Maker, and this will all be releasing on our own website on Friday the 13th of June. Thanks very much for watching.